Welcome to another episode of the Engaging Virtual Meetings podcast. I am John Chen, your host. And if you're watching here live on social media, make sure and subscribe, share, like, or comment. I am almost up to 1,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel. So if you're watching on YouTube, do me a favor, subscribe and hit the bell and help me hit the magic number of 1,000. If you want all the episodes, go to engagingvirtualmeetings.online and see all the episodes and a new episode showing up every Wednesday of every week. In addition to that, if you want to learn how to be more engaging in the world this year, come to the retreat October 20th through the 22nd. We have speakers open right now too. If you are a speaker and you want to be a speaker at this conference, make sure and contact me. And if you want a free ticket, scan the QR code and get a free ticket and check it out. It's one of the coolest hybrid retreats you're ever gonna see. Now, meanwhile, back here in Seattle, last night I went to the Moth for the first time. Shout out to Bruce Shearer, my past president for NSA Northwest, and he gave me 2 tickets, and then I actually wrote out the form, and then they actually picked my name, right? And so I actually got to tell my first Moth story, and all I want to tell you is that I didn't win, but I won. And what I mean by that, it was a story about broken rules and failures. And the story is supposed to be about yourself, but I told the story about my grandfather. It's called The Paper Son. And it's about how my grandfather immigrated into this country. And if you haven't seen it, check out my other channels and you'll see it. And I got a lot of commentary around there. And at the Moth, it's kind of obvious when a CSP, a certified speaking professional, is speaking versus when someone who is not a CSP. So anyways, we're here with today's guest, and my other guest here is an amazing person who I got to spend time with in Nolens. She's an award-winning, internationally renowned professional keynote speaker, corporate trainer, and business systems consultant. She offers expert services in the area of leadership, professional development, and technology. She's got her PhD, which gives her that doctor title in continuing professional education, and is an adjunct professor at the North Carolina, I hope I got that right, State University, in addition to owning her own business. And now, recently, she found out she's one of the just 600 certified speaking professionals in the world. Let's welcome Dr. Holly Sullenger, CSP. Dr. Holly.
Hey, John.
How are you doing? Number one, since our time in New Orleans, Nolens.
Well, I'm busy, and that's good because it keeps me out of trouble. But I'm also still thrilled, pinching myself that I'm a CSP. That's fine.
Well, let's talk about this too. So again, for those who don't know, this is like the highest certified honor for a speaker. It requires kind of a lot of paperwork. We're waiting for the T-shirt. All right, Holly. Like a lot of people see a speaker, and one of their thoughts, if they have it in their head, says, "I can do that." And then I want the CSP shirt, and the backside says, I have done this over 250 times paid, right? So that's my T-shirt. Holly, what was it like to get that email and find out that you became one of the newest CSPs?
Yeah, so I just happened to be at breakfast at our Thrive conference that we attended in New Orleans.
Right.
And I was checking my email at breakfast, and there was the email, and I rather lost it in the breakfast room. And fortunately, I was sitting next to somebody else who is in my same NSA chapter, and she also became a CSP. So then I was making her refresh her phone constantly so that the email would show up for her as well. So it was all kinds of fun. We were very loud and noisy, and it still hasn't. I don't think it's fully sunk in, but it will.
Well, I think I have a captured video of at least you and 3 other CSPs. Oh, maybe 4. It was Larry Long Jr. And we announced all of you at one of the happy hours.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, very cool. Well, congratulations again. I will be at Influence, so I'll see you walk across that stage. And now you have the most difficult decision of your speaking career. What will you do when you receive your medal?
Well, I kind of like what you did. You put yours in a frame, but before I put it in the frame, I'll probably wear it for the rest of the conference. I think that's probably what I'll do.
Oh, but you get to make a move. You basically get the stage for about 10 seconds and you can do anything. If you haven't heard,
I didn't know this. This is news to me.
I'm the only CSP who has done the worm. Out of everybody, that's what the other CSPs told me later. One, they said it was funny. Number two, they said they went backwards and they said no one in the history of CSP has ever
Has
done it.
ever
So
done that.
that's how I
So
keep
maybe you
myself
can be my
original.
choreographer. We'll work on it together. We'll have it choreographed by John Chen.
Well,
Maybe
we'll
I'll
have to
zoom
see.
backwards across
We'll
the
see
stage. I
what
don't know.
moves. Yeah, what moves does Dr. Holly have in her cadre? All
I'll
right.
do something.
Well, speaking of moves, why don't you talk about this? Some of my friends don't know you, so take this moment to introduce yourself, who you are, and what you do.
Yeah, so I am so fortunate, John. I absolutely love my what I do. I love my career. And I started out as a person in life who was terrified of speaking in public. My dad discovered that about me halfway through college, and he started forcing me to go with him to his Toastmasters group. If you don't know what Toastmasters is, has nothing to do with toast or bread. Group of people who help others learn to speak in public. And so it was me, a 19, 20-year-old college girl, and 20 my dads that were all, just working people. And they took me under the wings for about 2 years. And by the time the 2 years was up, I felt more comfortable. And right about the same time, the universe always has that eye out for you. One of my college professors called me up and said, "We need you to come teach a class for us." And the old Holly would have said, "Absolutely not." The new Holly said, "Oh gosh, I owe this to all my dads at Toastmasters." And so I told her I would. And I was literally half the age of the youngest person in that seminar that semester. So I had that little, thing going on in my brain as well. But I learned that people weren't there to see me. They were there to learn the information. And if I could make the information fun and accessible and meaningful, and if I could work on making it something that they could actively connect to their existing knowledge to, that was what they were after. And once I saw that happening, and I got to enjoy seeing the knowledge transfer going on, I was hooked, and I've done this ever since. So I currently am a corporate speaker and keynote speaker and a corporate trainer, and I do leadership development consulting, and I get to do it for very large organizations. I get to do it for professional associations, and I do a lot of work with institutions of higher learning. In fact, I'm also an adjunct professor at North Carolina State University. And I just have fun. Every group is different. Every seminar is different. Every topic takes a different slant based on the needs of the people in the room. And I absolutely love what I do.
Genius. Thank you, Dr. Holly. So let's see. I'm going to go back to the CSP for a few moments. What was the moment you decided to actually apply for this, or you learned about it and that you're actually going to apply for it?
So I think I'm an unusual person. I've actually only belonged in NSA for a year and a half.
Ooh.
And several years ago, I helped one of our NSA chapter members get started in the speaking business. And this gentleman's name is Larry Long Jr.
What? You're responsible for Larry?
Well, partially. There was a lot of us. He did his due diligence back then, and he
Okay.
called all the people that he knew were speakers and said, "What do you do? I want to do that too." And so I got to be one of the many who gave him information at the beginning, and he's really taken off. But he's very good at always keeping up with his connections.
Yes.
And he got up with me about 2 years ago and he said, "I don't understand why you're not in this association with me." And I said, "I don't understand why you're in it. What do you get out of it?"
Okay, that's a funny line. That's a
Yeah.
funny line.
And he told me all the great things that he'd gotten from NSA and the members and all the relationships. And he said, "You really have to try it." So he talked me into doing NSA. And once I got into NSA, and by the way, our entire chapter pretty much is like the 7 degrees from Larry Long Jr. Everybody got there from Larry Long Jr. in some way, shape, or form. But so then I started hearing about this CSP thing, and everybody kept saying, "Oh, no, 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 you have to be a speaker for a long period of time." And I'm thinking, well, I'm not going to admit the number of years, but that's me. And "Oh, no, 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 it has to be your main business." Okay, it's been me that way for a long time.
Yeah.
And I finally looked at all the little ticky marks I would need, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I've got this. If I just do it, I've got it."
Yeah.
And so our chapter put together a support group for people that wanted to get it this year, and we did it. So it's great. All of us that applied got it.
Should I ask, what's the hardest part for you? There's three major things, of course, in there, right? But what was the hardest for you?
Okay, yeah, this is easy for me, and this is going to be right up your alley. The hardest thing for me was getting the video.
See? Why? I'm just curious.
So most of my clients over the years, a lot of them, I've had non-compete agreements with them, et cetera, and they would not at all be
Mm.
interested in me videoing anything at all,
Right,
that I do for them, even
right.
keynotes, which is bizarre. But I just never worried about it because they were paying me great money and I was making a great
Yeah,
living, so whatever. And
yeah,
I didn't
whatever.
need the video. And now, of course, as you well know, because this is this is a big part of your business, we can't do anything without video. People, it's almost like they need to see that proof. It's almost like they need to have the video before they even believe that you can do I can say, I've been doing this for 150 years, but unless I can showcase it, it's not real.
Yes.
And so I had to go to clients and say, I have a conference coming up with you. Would you mind terribly if I took? And I had people, like I was pulling friends and students that I mentor at NC State and just to go with me and just to take video. And of course, some of it was better, some of it was phone, some of it was camera. And so I just really had to cross my fingers. That was the hardest thing for me. I've been keeping my books for 150 years. That was easy. Been making money doing this for a lot of years. That was easy. But that video component, boy, that was tough.
And the testimonials. The testimonials are easy. People like you, right?
Yes. Testimonials are super easy. Yeah. 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 I think I sent invitations to like 40 people and like 2 days later they had 20 and she was like, cut it off. So,
You're done.
yeah. You're done.
I know I achieved 40. Actually, I was slow. I only had 10 in the first week, right? So I sent out the next round, and all of a sudden she's like, okay, we're done. We got 40.
Yep.
You
Yep.
only need 20. And
Yep.
so, but yes, the video is the hardest part, and especially for you since you weren't collecting it. And it is something
Right.
we tell speakers all the time now, right? Collect as much video as you can.
Listen to him.
And
Listen to
the
him.
reason why is sometimes you don't know what you need. And the other thing that we're seeing, I don't know if you heard this, Holly, which is uh, many meeting professionals who are choosing you want to look beyond the reel. Like you probably still need a reel to get past the first round, but they want to see something else now because they have been fooled because people have spent astronomical numbers of dollars on a reel, and now anybody can
Yeah.
kind of look
Yeah.
good, but now they want to see you in an uncut video for some 5 to 60 minutes, a period of time. Because they want to see how you really are, and like the whole time, and in the audience, and that's one of the way that meeting professionals are trying to counteract this. I got fooled by somebody's speaker reel. Do you have any comments about that or thoughts?
No, no, I do. I do. It's funny because I've been very lucky. This thing all started grassroots effort for me. People found out that I was speaking and they just started asking me. And because they were experiencing me and were going back to their company saying this gal is great, she knows what she's doing, people were willing to take chances on me. And my entire career has been built on word of mouth.
Yeah.
Now it's different, like you're saying. So I really think now I've got people saying, where are your speaker reels? And
Yes.
I need to get those things that I use for my CSP now up on YouTube. So that's next, right? And I know I need an actual speaker reel. I don't have that yet.
Oh, well, Holly, one day we'll talk, okay? Whenever you're ready.
Absolutely.
There's lots of
I've
other
been talking
people.
to a
Yeah.
few people. I'd love to get your input, John, because I trust you. Yeah,
Well,
for
thank you,
sure.
Holly. Yeah, and again, it is that when you go and see a great speaker reel, if you actually go and count, there are probably 100 to 250 cuts within 3 minutes, right? So if you actually go to watch any modern movie and just count in your head before they cut to another scene. It averages less than 3 seconds. It's like 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2. It's very unusual to see like a whole scene cut, like an uncut scene. And that's why some of them are very popular, but they have to work really, really hard to get it. But so that's why a speaker reel is so important. It has to match what people are used to is seeing online in Hollywood and on videos and movies. And if you don't move at that pace, people are like yawn and they move on. Right?
Exactly.
And it
Exactly.
doesn't take more than 5 seconds you to signal like if you tried to let something run long that they'll just bypass and going, this is not what I want.
I'm
So
super lucky that my clients over the years that know me have
yes.
continued to use me over and over and over
Yeah.
again. If it
Yeah.
wasn't for that, I'd be sunk. Yeah.
Yeah, and then again, as you expand your business or whatever you're at your stage in your career, that these are the things that you need, I think, to get to that whatever that next level is for you.
I agree.
So what are some of the things that you developed, Holly? So you started in the Toastmasters world. By the way, I'm actually producing our District 2 Toastmasters, and it will be hybrid for one of the first times in the history of this. So again, my online friends, please look for that virtual ticket and check that out. It'll be May 16th, May 16th, because a bunch of Washington or West Coast based chapters actually combined in. So now the chapter is even bigger than it was before.
Oh, that's so cool.
But my question to you, Holly, is so what did you do, or what did you learn from the early stages of like how can you be engaging to your audiences while you're training them on this amazing content?
Yeah, and it's funny because I learned that way long time ago from Toastmasters, and that has actually carried me through. And that's one of the things I'm known for. That's one of my superpowers, according to my clients. I'm super engaging. I am super involving. Even when I'm keynoting, I am walking out into the audience and talking to people and asking questions and show me this and show me that. I don't stand behind a podium ever. It makes some AV people nuts, but that's just me. I'm always like, nope, need a lav mic. I gotta be able to move.
I gotta move.
And so that's always been super important to me. When adults come to any type of seminar, workshop, breakout, keynote, they're bringing their experience with them. And they really honestly love to feel included. They love to feel like they can pull out their knowledge and use it to connect with whatever you're presenting as the speaker.
Yes.
And the best way to do that, in my humble opinion, is to involve them. And I shouldn't say in my humble opinion, my dissertation that I did for my PhD that you mentioned initially is
Ah.
entitled How Corporate Trainers Get Groupies.
Oh.
And it looks at what causes people to want to hear from speakers again and again and again, what causes them to come back for more. And the number one thing is they want to be involved and entertained. That's number one.
Involved and entertained. Say more. And how did you come to this conclusion, if I can ask?
I did this huge academic research study using something called Q methodology. It's way more than we want to go into right now. But yeah, but there are, yeah, he's like, we got time. But I took a look at many people, had them respond to a survey, people who had multiple classes with the same instructor or multiple seminars with the same trainer or had gone to multiple keynotes with the same speaker. And I asked them a series of questions and I got the information that showed exactly what they look for in people to keep coming back for more. Number one is inform and entertain. They also look for somebody who really knows their stuff and they can tell is an expert in their area. They look for somebody who is likable, somebody who seems like a friend or a coach.
Yeah.
They look for somebody who, trying to think of all the different areas. There are 6 key areas, and I'm going to lose half of them right now because I haven't looked at it lately. But those are the main ones that they look for.
Yeah. Go read the document. I'm sure it's online somewhere, right?
It is online. And I actually did a presentation for my NSA chapter during our week of speaker love, which we have in February. And I did use that in that particular presentation. And we called it how speakers get groupies.
You know, and it's my other friend Leah Bliss, who's a LinkedIn expert, was using this phrase, cult leader energy. Right.
That's what it is.
Then she disclosed to me she actually was a member of a cult in her past, in her history, and so she knows intimately like what is that. But sometimes speakers need that. Somebody else just gave me some commentary about what's it like to come to an NSA, a National Speakers Association conference, and it's like it's probably one of the places that where like the average, even the introverts, have a high level of charisma.
Yeah, you're right. Because they're speakers. They're speakers.
And as well as though, you know, people also know this too, is that while there's lots of things that could be happening, what's sometimes referred to as peacocking, which is lots of us trying to, outdo each other in the whatever it is, it's not like that. Most of the time, people are blown away by the fact that top speakers will take a new speaker and say, oh, let me help you.
That's one of the things I love and that I'm actually sold on with National Speakers Association.
Yeah.
Everybody's so generous.
Yeah.
with their time, with
Yeah.
their advice, with their opinions.
Yeah.
Everybody is very generous with their support of everybody else.
Yeah.
It's absolutely blown me away.
Yeah. And I think that one is that the culture of the group, like it's built into the culture that like, if you're not doing that, you kind of are going against the culture of the group. And the second part is it's actually real. I mean, I've been a member of lots of organizations who said it, and it's another thing. It's another thing to actually have it happen. Here's a good like part, right? Like I had something happen to me. I posted something that was very challenging, and one of my good friends, Elizabeth McCormick of all people, right? One of the first 100 women Black Hawk pilots, not only like messaged me, she calls me.
Oh,
She calls me and says, "Are you okay?" Right? And so we talked it out and blah blah blah. And then she had this thing. She had to do a mileage run so she could get the next level of status. And so she goes, "I had to do this flight before like this Saturday." And she goes, "I chose Seattle because it's far enough and you're there, so we're gonna come." So we actually gathered 8 people, like literally in under 48 hours, to go have breakfast with Elizabeth McCormick before she flew home.
that's amazing.
Yeah.
And
So
that
those
and
are
stories like that you hear that all the time. I mean, it's just amazing. That group is amazing, and I'm so glad to be a part of it. I can't express how glad I am.
Okay, we'll talk about amazing. Let's talk about March of 2020. What happened to Dr. Holly in March of 2020 and how'd you deal with it?
Amazing. Let's see. This month, I guess, aside from our conference, right?
Yeah.
Aside from becoming a CSP, both of those were amazing enough. But I got back from my CSP and the work was waiting for me. And
But wait, let me go back. This is
yeah.
March of 2020.
Oh, 2020. Oh, I'm sorry. This is that. I thought you were saying this year. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
20.
want to
Oh my
know.
God. No, 2020. Let me go back. Oh, no.
Sorry. I didn't mean to be dramatic.
Wait,
Sorry.
wait. Oh.
Oh,
Oh God. My brain won't go there, John. No. No, I had an entire year's worth of work.
yeah.
I was very busy. Business was good. And we had our stay-at-home order. And at that time, John, as you may well guess, I was 100% in person.
In person. Oh, so despite your tech background, you had no virtual on you.
Nobody wanted it.
Yeah.
Remember, I had grassroots, gotten
Yeah.
clients. Nobody cared. They all
Yep.
wanted me to come in. They didn't
Yep.
care.
That's
And so I hadn't done
okay.
that. And so within a week of the stay-at-home order,
Yeah.
all of my business disappeared.
Yes.
100% of it.
Yikes.
And I was sitting in front of my TV, watching the doom and gloom, being worried that I was going to die from a germ. And my phone rang, and one of my clients from one of my very large companies, who is an amazingly positive person, 100% of the time, I still want to know her secret. She's got to be drinking something. I haven't figured it out yet. And she called me up and she said, "Hi, Holly, how are you?" And I was like, "How can you be positive right now? Who is this?" And she said, "I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, all of my workers are at home. I don't really know what to do with them. And I still need to keep them busy. And I was thinking, Dr. Holly's got some really positive, good stuff there. So why don't we just get her set up virtually and we'll just keep going with the training?" She said, "Are you in?" And I was, "Of course." I was, "Ah." Why didn't I think of that? Yes, 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 I'm in. And she said, "I'll even help you figure it out." And she did.
Hmm.
So we figured out, oh my gosh, and you'll love this. At the time, this company was using as their virtual platform, they were using Blue Jeans.
Oh yeah, Blue Jeans doesn't even exist anymore.
I know. They were using Blue Jeans initially. I had to figure that out. It was nasty. I know why it's not around, trust me. And then the next thing that we went to was Zoom. I found Zoom and I said, "Would you be willing to do this?" And she was like, "Absolutely."
Ooh, smart move.
So
Yeah.
yeah. So from that point forward, I got her squared away and she helped me figure things out. I let all my other clients know this is what I'm doing, and I got 100% of my business back plus more because it opened up all kinds of doors. My companies are big; they're all around the globe, and they were like,
Yeah.
we can do now leadership around the world, and we can do we can do Power BI for the people in Canada. I mean, it's all kinds of things. So it was phenomenal because of one person who chose to remain positive. Unfortunately, it wasn't me until I talked to her, right? But she's one of the people I really respect and admire for so many different things.
Oh,
And you know, when you run into people and you see their superpower and you're like, oh my gosh, that is absolutely her superpower is positivity. And when I know I need a little bit of a shot of positivity, I just connect with her, and there it is.
you got a positivity payoff. There you go. You can get a
Absolutely, positivity payoff.
you
That's
had to
the
get a
best there is.
PPP loan, right? It had nothing to do with the government. It had to do with your friend. You can give that to her.
That's it. That's it. Yeah. So it all turned around based on one person. One of the topics that I talk about a lot with my corporate people is the importance of building your own personal board of directors, not
Yes.
just a group of people you like,
No.
but people that actively can assist you at getting them to the next level.
Yeah.
And there are a few number of types of people that everybody should include on their own personal board. When I talk to professionals about it, they get it, they make it happen. She's been on my board for years.
Aw. So what's one thing that you crossed over, like your number one engagement tip on virtual? So you knew how to engage people in the real world and in person, but what transferred over for you that you found that you could be successful in engaging people in, of course, this little box?
Yeah. So the first probably 2 or 3 events that I did virtually were absolutely horrible. Um, I felt like a robot. Everybody else didn't know what they were doing. We just all felt weird and it was
Yeah.
icky and stuff. And
Right.
then I just decided that I needed to relax and just be me. I needed to let my personality show through. And the minute I did that, and I did that by actually unofficially hired some friends, right? I voluntold them that they would assist me. And I would get on the Zoom in platform with my friends and we would just joke and have a good time. And eventually I got to the point where I could be me. And the minute I was me and I could bring more fun and more interactivity to Zoom, everything changed. And it happened pretty quickly. So I still say involvement is probably the number one thing, but, and you know, this one, number two, I'm a pretty big stickler about having people turn their cameras on,
Yeah.
if at all possible.
Yeah. If at all
I work
possible.
with corporate people and they're all very used to, they all claim, oh, camera fatigue, right? And they turn their cameras off. And it is harder for the speaker, it's harder for the presenter when you're talking to a bunch of little dots or black boxes,
Yep.
seriously.
Yeah.
So I give them the talk, and my talk is, you're all leaders. And as leaders, you want everybody to get 100% of the message that you give them. It's important. And we know from studies that every message consists of 2 parts, verbal and nonverbal. Does anybody want to guess how much of a percentage of every communicated message is nonverbal?
Right.
And they'll guess. I'll pretend I'm an auctioneer for a while, and then we'll get close, and I'll say it's 93%. 55% is body language, and 38% is tone of voice. So if you want people to get the message, any message that you're giving, you need to have your camera on and you need to have your mic functional.
Yeah.
And it's funny, amazing what great volunteers I get with cameras on when I make those comments.
Yeah, I have this whole class now too, based upon some of the work from, come on, who's the author of Eat, Pray, Love?
Oh my God, Elizabeth
Gilbert.
Gilbert. Thank you.
And so with no additional technology, no sharing of slides or anything else, right? We have 8 techniques, and if you use them, people will turn on their cameras without me ever asking them. Because they find the value. You know, the creation of culture, that's what I do tell about leaders, right? As leaders, the number one thing you create is culture.
Yes.
And in this case, is that you can create a cameras on or a cameras off culture by what you say or what you do.
Yep.
And you know, and I also saw this. You have all this amazing technology, right? Like Holly and I are far away, but we have all this part. And what do I want to do is reduce, 93% of my my communication, by turning a camera off. While we're here together, let's do that. And so that way, a lot of times too, I promise people, like, if we get our stuff done, either on time or in less time because we have cameras on, then you can log off and go back and do things like be with your family. One thing I tell, oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, I had a friend of mine do this one time and say, it's like you're doing this.
Yeah, right. The bag on the head too.
You would never do that in a meeting.
You can't go and put bags on your head in the middle of the meeting and have it be acceptable. Right.
Exactly.
So, I think one other thing I tell speakers all the time too is that the number one thing you can work on is your authenticity as a speaker. And for you, actually, that's a great that you did that. You found friends and you just said, we're going to mess around with this technology until I do whatever I need to do to feel comfortable on it. We actually did this by accident. We actually created a happy hour in March. It was Friday.
Nice.
Yeah, Friday, 5 o'clock. And here were the only rules uh, no recording and no agenda.
Nice. Oh,
That
I
was
love
the
that.
that was it. So people could come in and they were like unloading. We were actually learning what's happening around Corona in all different cities because it was different everywhere. And so we had people logged in from all places. And like at one point at the high point, people demanded it twice a week because it was like therapy to them to like deal
Yeah.
with stuff. And it did finally die, unfortunately, but it was the most, what I call psychologically safe virtual meeting I have ever been in.
I love that. I love that. My daughter's a school teacher. She was a
Oh,
school
yeah.
teacher during COVID,
Wow.
and her principal and assistant principal did something that I've not heard anybody else do. When school was shut down in the spring and until it resumed late in the fall of that year, they had a once a week Zoom meeting for all of their staff. And
Yes.
there was no agenda, like you said. They would get on and they'd say, "How are you?" And there was a time that people could just be themselves and unload, like you said, and talk about what was bothering them.
Yes.
And oftentimes, obviously, the teachers would say, "What do you know? What do you know?" And the principal and assistant principal would say, "We don't know anything yet. We're just like you, but hey, we're here." And it meant so much. That school was so cohesive when they resumed again because of that.
Yeah, I think people miss that, and it's one of our core techniques too, right? Connection before content.
Yes,
Before you start telling the teachers anything to do or whatever, they have to feel connected. And sometimes this is why I tell people, right? You should log in earlier to your meeting. If there's a speaker, do an AV check, and then open the doors early and let people talk until it's time to start the meeting. And it's exactly what you would do in an in-person meeting. You walk in early, we would chat until the meeting start. And
love that.
yeah, simple, but
All important.
lots of people don't do it. So.
I agree.
All right. Well, we come to the amazing part of this interview called the speed interview. The speed interview means that I've been writing questions for you while we've been in this interview, and that you have to try and answer them as fast as possible, and then I will play some ridiculous sound afterwards. Okay. Are you ready?
Yes.
All right, Holly. Best Toastmaster moment.
Learning not to say or ah. Hating the
Oh.
beans.
Oh, just saw one last night. All right. It was an fest. Okay. How to get more women in STEM.
Let your daughters succeed in math and science and technology when they're younger. Encourage them. Don't let them see any glass ceilings.
Ooh, good one. Favorite piece of technology.
This is bad. I'm going to say my phone.
It's a Lamborghini. Oh,
I
and
love it.
are you Apple or Droid?
Droid.
Oh, interesting. Okay, cool. Best National Speakers Association moment.
Getting my CSP with my other members.
It was big. I saw you.
There were 4 of us from our chapter that got it.
I know. I know who you
So
are.
excited. Yeah. One of them wasn't there, but 3 of us were. So yeah.
Little known Larry Long Jr. fact that you can actually share.
He carries sometimes a pink bat.
A pink bat?
You'll have
Can I
to
ask
him.
why? I
You'll
haven't
have
seen
to
this
ask
bat.
Yep, it's a Pendo bat. He used to work for Pendo and he used to be in a baseball player. And they got him a pink baseball bat. So before the microphones, which you're very used to seeing him with,
Yeah.
one of his little things, he would always pull out the bat and go, he'd get an idea lobbed over to you. Yep,
This is for Larry Long Jr.
yep.
All right. Your best engaging moment.
Oh, there have been so many.
I know.
Anytime that people are sitting on the edge of their chairs, leaning in, we've had a conversation, they've talked, I've talked, and then I come to the point that I'm trying to make, and they're all leaning in. That's the best moment.
Leaning in.
Leaning in.
Yeah, I actually reference that in engagement, right? You want your audiences leaning in.
Yep.
Best advice for new speakers.
Talk a lot, speak anywhere. So Malcolm Gladwell's 10,000 hours is probably right. I probably wasn't worth my salt at anything until I'd done it for about 10,000 hours. So when I say speak a lot, Toastmasters helps. NSA helps. Being
Yeah.
able just to get up in front of people and have people who do it with kindness and intention give you some good constructive feedback. It can be so helpful.
Yeah. Amen. And the last question is, if you could get people to magically remember one thing from this interview, what would it be?
Turn your cameras on.
Oh, yeah.
Leave your cameras on.
How about this? Turn your cameras on, not only on virtual, but in the real world.
Yes.
Right?
Turn your cameras on.
Like turn your awareness on, turn your awareness on and turn your personality on, people, please.
Yes. I love that.
Well, thank you so much for being here. And again, congratulations one more time on your CSP. And I look forward to seeing you this summer, Dr. Holly.
Thank you so much, John. I'm glad I'm in your company with the CSP.
Oh, we're going to have such a good time this summer. Thanks, Holly. All right, we've been visiting here with Dr. Holly Sullenger, certified speaking professional. And she just says, turn your camera on, right? This camera on and this camera on, and really look. See if you can up your awareness the week. And my other favorite part, maybe it goes along with this, Holly, which is what snapshots do you take, right? We experience billions of moments every week, but what's the one that really makes the difference for you? Mine, being on the stage and looking out last night at the moth is a picture that I will hold dear for quite a while. Speaking of hold it dear, if you're watching here on social media, make sure and subscribe, share, like, and comment here on the Engaging Virtual Meetings podcast. You want all the episodes, go to engagingvirtualmeetings.online, subscribe on one of your 15 favorite profiles. And if you want to learn how to be more engaging like Holly or myself, come to my conference October 20 through 22nd. It's an amazing retreat that is in person and hybrid. You can scan for a free ticket or check out the VIP options because you'll see you'll get even more engaged. And the last part, if you want to be like Holly, go to engagingvirtualmeetings.com/meet, select interview, and you too could be the next guest here on the Engaging Virtual Meetings podcast. We'll see you next time.
It's always